Hello, dear students. I'm glad to meet you at our course. Today we are going to study grammar theme, conditional sentences. Let's start. A conditional sentence is a complex sentence with a subordinate clause of condition that usually begins with the conjunction if. The clause of condition, the if clause, indicates the conditions under which the action in the main clause may be realized. Conditional sentences are usually divided into 5 types. Zero type, first type of conditional sentences or first conditionals, second type of conditional sentences or second conditionals, third type of conditional sentences or third conditionals, and mixed type of conditional sentences. And today we will study first, second, and third types of conditional sentences. Let's start. First conditionals. First conditionals are structures with real conditions. They express real or very probable situations in the present or future. The possibility that the action will occur is very high. Talking about conditional sentences, you should understand that these sentences are divided into 2 parts, if clause and main clause. If clause always starts with the conjunction if, and another part of the sentence is called main clause. In the first place, either if clause or main clause can be. It doesn't matter because the sense doesn't change. The formation of first type of conditional sentences or first conditionals. In the if clause after the conjunction if, we may use present simple, present continuous, present perfect, or present perfect continuous. Now let's remember how do we form these tenses. Present simple. We don't do any changes with the verb in this tense, except the situation if the subject is in the third person singular. In this case, we will use the ending s or es. Present continuous. Present continuous is formed by means of auxiliary verb to be, which can be in the forms am, is, are, depending on the subject, plus the verb with ending ing. Present perfect. Present perfect is formed by means of auxiliary verbs have or has, depending on the subject. If the subject is in the third person singular, we will use the auxiliary verb has. In other cases, we will use the auxiliary verb have, plus past participle. Past participle means that if the verb is regular, we will use the ending ed. If it is irregular, we will put it in the third form of irregular verbs. Present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous is formed by means of auxiliary verbs have been or has been, depending on the subject. If the subject is in the third person singular, we will use the auxiliary verb has been. In other situations, we will have the auxiliary verb have been plus verb with ending ing. In the main clause, we will use tense future simple. It is formed by means of auxiliary verb will plus verb. We can also use modal verbs can, may, might, must, should plus verb here. Or we can use the imperative here. Examples. The first is, if it rains, I will not go to the park. It means that I don't know if it will rain or not. The second is, if I see Mary, I will tell her. It means that I may see her or may not. Second conditionals. Second conditionals are structures with unreal conditions referring to the present or future. They are used to express imaginary situations which are contrary to facts in the present. The formation of second type of conditional sentences or second conditionals. In the if clause, after the conjunction if, we will use such tenses as past simple or past continuous. Past simple is formed in the following way. If the verb is regular, we will use the ending ed. If it is irregular, we will put it in the second form of irregular verbs. Past continuous. Past continuous is formed by means of auxiliary verb to be, which can be in the forms of was or were, depending on the subject. If it is singular, we will use was. If it is plural, we will use were, plus the verb with ending ing. In the main clause, we will use the tense future in the past. It is formed by means of auxiliary verb would for all persons plus verb. Modal verbs could, might plus verb can be used here as well. Examples. The first is, if you went to bed earlier, you would not feel tired. The second is, if I had $2 million, I would give a lot to charity. The third is, if I were you, I would study English by all means. And you should remember that in the second conditional, in the if clause, after the conjunction if, the verb to be is always in the form of were. Third conditionals. Third conditionals are structures with unreal condition referring to the past. They are used to express imaginary situations which are contrary to facts in the past and also to express regrets and criticism. The formation of third type of conditional sentences or third conditionals. In the if clauses, after the conjunction if, you will use past perfect or past perfect continuous. Past perfect is formed by means of auxiliary verb had for all persons plus past participle. Past perfect continuous is formed by means of auxiliary verb had been for all persons plus verb with the ending ing. In the main clause, we should use future perfect in the past. It is formed by means of auxiliary verb would have for all persons plus past participle. Examples. If I hadn't helped you, you would have failed. It means that I helped you, so you didn't fail. The second is, if it had been sunny, we could have gone out. It means that we didn't go out because it wasn't sunny. Thank you for your attention, dear students. I hope that my explanation was clear for you. After watching this video, you should do grammar task. I wish you good luck. Goodbye.